And hello there YouTube, out here again today on the Jeep project. As you guys can see, it is way different than the last time I left it. It still had an engine and transmission in it and all the front sheet metal on it. Right here, let me pull the stuff off the top of it. I've got the AMC 304 that I've been cleaning up to stick in it. I got a little bit more to do it and then it's going to get painted. Pretty happy with how that's all going. Come up here, give you guys a real good look at how all the front suspension stuff turned out. Those are those Ford F-250 shock towers. You can see all the suspension work that I'd done earlier kind of paying off in there. Today, the big project I'm after is I've got this bullet hole here in the floor. We'll take a look from the inside. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it with the lighting in here. But once upon a time, somebody shot a hole through the floor. So the plan of the day is to get that cut out of there and then weld it in solid, and then I'll do the inside later on. But what I'm needing to do is when I got the motor out of this thing, I realized that all the seam sealer here was all messed up. So I pulled the front clip, ground all this stuff out, cleaned it all up. As you can see, I still got some of the rust preventer on there, some of the rust cure. And then also doing the top of the firewall here today. I ran out of seam sealer last night, so I'll have to do the drip rail here today. I also did the body seam right here. This has all got fresh in it, so pretty happy with that. It should keep this thing from leaking in on me. As I was noticing that I was getting some water in the cab and it was coming from the dash area, so I just wanted to do that while I had it all apart to be sure, since I'm painting all this anyways. Cleaned up the brake master cylinder with that rusty stuff, and actually it's Rust Cure is the product I've been using, and I'll give you guys a shot of that here. Some pretty good stuff. It'll clean up the rust. You can see it right there. It just comes on in a spray bottle. You spray it on there and then come back 24 hours later, just clean it up with a wire brush, so it works real good. And like you can see up here on the front transmission mount, around that donut there, that mount, excuse me, on the body mount there, that mount was all rusted up, and I sprayed a bunch of that on there, and you can see it's completely disabled that rust and converted it. So the next big step today, I put a bunch of that stuff on the firewall. So today we're going to clean that up a little bit with I've got one of them little Scotch-Brite pads for my grinder. We'll get that cleaned up the best that I can. I'll clean up the brake master cylinder and everything, and clean up all this stuff the best I can. And then hopefully I'll have to let the seam sealer dry overnight, so hopefully tomorrow I can start painting on everything. I've got a couple of products I'm going to use here for the frame. I'm using this Rust-Oleum undercoating. This is real good stuff. I've used it on a lot of vehicles. This is what I've actually got the front bumper painted in right now, which it does fade if it's in the sunlight. I'm going to go ahead and paint the bumper and everything with just regular black paint once I get this done, but I just sprayed it on there because I had a can of it. And then the body itself is going to get painted in this Rust-Oleum camouflage, and going to be using that on there. So the other big thing that I have to show off today, though, is I just picked up a new welding machine. This is the let me see if I can get zoomed out far enough where you guys can get a good view of this. This is the Lincoln Power Mig 256. I just bought this yesterday. I haven't even so much as burned a bead with it yet. I just got the cords and plugs and everything I need to plug it into the wall over here. I'm over at a friend's house, so it's kind of a learning curve when you're doing all that type of stuff. But looks like a really nice machine. I haven't completely read the manual on it yet, so I can't tell you guys all the little special features it has. But as I get going, I'm going to do some demos with this machine and give a proper review. It's been a machine I've been looking at for quite a while. And I've actually been looking at this machine for well over a year now, and pretty happy to finally have one. The neat thing about this machine is I can also get a spool gun that'll attach to it, and with the spool gun I can weld aluminum, and this machine will also do stainless steel. So very versatile machine. It's got a burn back, run-in control, and a spot time control. So this thing will do a lot of things. I'm pretty excited to put it to use here. Like I said, I just broke it out. Haven't burned a single bead with it yet, but we'll see how she goes. So that'll be pretty much it for today's update. I'm just going to be trying to get a lot of this knocked out. As you can see, the doors are off of the Jeep. Here's the old transmission that came out of it. It's still bolted to the Dana 300. The Dana 300 is going to be getting reused. I need to get it all cleaned up. There's the old inline 6 that came out, and the motor ran fine. It was just had good compression and everything. Just the distributor on it was all messed up, and the carburetor's all messed up, and it was leaking oil. And the 258 wasn't known for being a powerhouse. They made pretty good torque, but I'm going to be towing that real big military trailer that I've got with this thing, so I definitely want to have the power to pull it. Also, a couple things I can show off over here right quick. In these boxes right here, I'm not going to break them out because they're not really anything to look at. That's the brand new center force clutch. And then I've got the more engine mounts in there. There's my flywheel that I just had new ring gear put on and had it turned. And then here's the NV4500 that I just had freshly rebuilt. In this box here, I've got a brand new cross-flow aluminum radiator. That's going to be going in the Jeep. And then in this box here, we have the advanced adapters bell housing that's going to be going to adapt this NV4500 to the AMC 304. So I've got a lot of good stuff here. Hopefully by the end of the week here, we're going to start seeing this thing go together. I'm hoping Saturday or Sunday to be stabbing the engine back in. So that'll be pretty much it for this update. We'll catch in with you in a couple of days.